Hey, what's up, guys? It's MugenLord here, and today we're going to talk about Ubisoft. Yes, that's right. There's more Ubisoft drama that just keeps coming out, especially when it comes to Star Wars Outlaw, because apparently Ubisoft has been paying content creators or influencers to come to LA and pretty much, I guess you would say, encourage them to say some nice things about the game or to sway their opinions about the game. So this pretty much falls under a conflict of interest. Especially, I want to give you my thoughts and opinions as a content creator myself that also deals with brand deals, or when I'm approached by companies to represent their products or to sponsor their products. I definitely want to just weigh in on this because it's starting to show a shift on how I guess you say content creators have much more influence today than we've ever seen ever before. So before we even dive into this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. So we're going to dive into it from Bounty in the comics, because it says Ubisoft pays influencers to travel to LA, visit Disneyland as part of the Star Wars Outlaws marketing campaign. That's crazy. That is really crazy, yo. So it says a new report has revealed that illicit favorable fan coverage from Ubisoft is spending big to the online influencer angle of their Star Wars Outlaws marketing campaign. And like I said, we content creators and influencers have become very, very powerful, because it allows developers, it allows Hollywood, it allows politicians to be able to tap into a big market or a big audience that these influencers have. And these influencers are very impressionable over their audience. So if they can able to get them and get them to sway them to their side, then that also equals a big payout, or I guess you would say lucrative results for whatever product that they're trying to push. So it says the depths of Ubisoft wallet in regards to promoting their upcoming Star Wars game were first brought to light controversy of German video game and sci-fi YouTuber Cyberpunk 20XX. His curiosity bequeathed both by Ubisoft CEO declaration during the company's Q1 2024 earnings report that Star Wars Outlaws would have the biggest marketing campaign ever so far for a Ubisoft game, as well as a recent accusation being floated on media that some online content creators have been bought by Ubisoft. Cyberpunk 20XX began looking into just how effective inflating the game's marketing budget had worked out for it. And this is another thing too. We talk about inflated budgets. And a lot of these inflated budgets is not only by, what they're, using as far as like motion capture and hiring, A-list celebrities to voice these characters and the production behind it, but it also goes into the marketing and how they're marketing. And content creators, I haven't really thought about, the marketing budget behind that, to get these influencers to market their game. So it says that to this end, said YouTuber's initial investigation revealed that between himself, a number of his fellow YouTubers, and everyone's respective audience, far fewer knew that Star Wars Outlaws was launching at the end of August than the game's market budget would suggest. However, after watching a video from fellow German creator in which he revealed that he had not only been invited by Ubisoft to come to Los Angeles and spend a few hours in Star Wars Outlaws for a few hours, but while there also spent a day at Disneyland. Cyberpunk 20XX proceeded to turn his attentions away from the standard news and video coverage and instead began searching out vlogs related to said event, as in his logic, because someone who is invited to Los Angeles would surely have made a blog about it. So he did some actual investigation. Lo and behold, in doing so, Cyberpunk 20XX, that not only had Ubisoft hosted a number of influencers for the Star Wars Outlaw promotion event, but that those who were invited were treated to such amenities as a whale watching tour, a VIP tour at Disneyland, and having their flights and hotels completely paid for. And that's the thing in conflict of interest, because can you imagine the sway that it would do, where it would pay for everything, and then when you go to, and then you're able to go to Disneyland, especially if you have never went to Disneyland, and if you live overseas like the UK. Now you coming to America for the first time. You visiting LA, and then you get a chance to go visit Disneyland in LA as well. Yeah, that would definitely have an impact on how this game is being covered. So I quote, "You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that when a company puts out a lot of money into something, it will of course only do so if it benefits from it," argued the YouTuber. This is not done out of charity, as we all know that business is not that good. Nevertheless, one cannot speak here of buying opinions, but rather of an attempt to influence. Continue. Whether and if so, how well this works depends on many factors. He continued. So, if you want to know whether a creator has been influenced, you have to take some time and look at his stuff. You should usually get a pretty good feel for whether someone is influenced or not. But yes, the bad taste remains whether you like it or not. Cyberpunk 20XX then declared, "This is obviously not the end of Ubisoft's strategy. Ubisoft has bought advertising from many content creators, not the usual placements at the beginning of the middle of the video, but in the middle of the video, but entire videos," he asserted. In return, of course, paid for according to reach and clicks achieved. There are a lot of figure that are buzzing around, but we're taking quite decent amounts. We're not necessarily talking about peanuts here. Ultimately, what this means for the players is, as noted by Cyberpunk 20XX, it's important to always vet the individuals from who they get their information from, lest they end up being taken for a ride by someone who trade their integrity for days of all expenses paid for fun. And that's what I want to talk about real quick, is about these content creators that are being an influence or whatever like that. See, the thing is, when it comes to my channel, I think a lot of you guys definitely resonate with me is because I speak the truth, or I speak my opinion. I don't care who I offend or who feelings I may hurt in the process. I'm always true to myself, because at the end of the day, my integrity is more important than, being popular on social media and everything of the sort. This is why you guys resonate with me. And when it comes to this, content creators are very, especially today, content creators and influencers today are very, very powerful. We talk a lot about the journalists and the gaming journalists and just political, journalism as well. We talk about how much the scumbags that they are and how they are poison to society. But we also got to understand too is the damaging or the great influence that content creators and influencers have as well, because now a lot of companies are now setting their eyes on content creators because of their audience and the influence that they have. That's why they are called influencers for a reason. So, this is another reason why also journalists don't like content creators as well, because, these companies can just bypass the journalists and just go to the content creators because they have a much bigger pool that they can have access to and everything. But the thing is about a content creator is that now we're starting to get to a point where content creators are no different than journalists at this point. Is because now, since they are much bigger, they can be bought out. They can sway opinions that you really have to be careful for. And Ubisoft is hurting right now. Ubisoft is not doing too great at all. The Star Wars Outlaw, I called it before that this game is going to be ass. This game is going to be trash. And now Ubisoft is going out their way to sway opinions and sway influences by going out there reaching out to them. And now the thing is, this is much different, because when it comes to journalism, there are some principles or some guidelines that must be followed, and there's could be some repercussions. But when it comes to an influencer, there's really no laws when it comes to that. So this is another workaround for them to be able to exploit gamers and exploit consumers in general by going to these influencers. And it's sad that a lot of influencers have chosen the bag over their integrity. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that, I mentioned of how I deal with brands, is that ever since I have reached around 16,000 subscribers, I started getting hit up by sponsors or brands and stuff like that. And the thing that I always look out for is when a brand tells me that they want to look at my video before I upload it. And that's normally a sign of that, hey, we don't want you to say anything bad. If you say anything bad, we ain't gonna want you to upload it. We're gonna want you to change it. And the moment we get into that territory, that's the moment that I decline, because I don't care how much they want to work with me, collaborate with me, or how much they probably want to pay me, or they want to give me free shit or whatever like that. My integrity comes first, because I don't want to push out anything where I'm not being fully honest about it, which is why you don't really see a lot of sponsored videos. Now, if you ever see me do a sponsored video, it's because I agree to it and this is something that I want to do and I like it. I already like what I've seen to begin with, and I like everything about it. So, and I'm also using the product. I'm also playing the game. I'm also using the product. So I'm able to give you my thoughts on it because I've used it, and I'm a firm believer of that. I'm not going to sell you something that I'm not going to ever, that I've never used ever in my life, or given it a try to see if it actually works. I would never sell you guys out like that. So that's why you don't see a lot of sponsored stuff. I did only like one sponsored video. That was the QRD controller, which is the third-party controller that I have done right here. I did a review on it, and the review actually did pretty good, and I enjoy this controller. This is my go-to PC controller. It lights up and everything. I love it. It feels comfortable in the hands, but I'm not gonna go through all that, explaining it, but you can check out the video. But I legit love this controller, and I've used the controller time and time again. I played Zenless Zone Zero with this controller as well. So yes, things that I like and things that I actually enjoy using, yeah, sign me up. I'll sponsor it. I'll promote it and everything, because I like it. I like the product. I tried the product. I like it. I enjoy it. And then they allowed me to be able to say things freely about the product. So that's why I worked with them. But yes, content creators and influencers are becoming no different than journalists, and you really have to look out for them, because like I said, they trade in their integrity for the bag. Because at the end of the day, these people, they are still human like the rest of us, and you can't worship them or see them as gods. These are still human beings, and you still need to watch out for them. And I always tell you, even question me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm human just like everybody else, and I have flaws like everybody else. And that's why I always tell you guys, don't even put me on this pedestal. See me as your equal and everything, and things will go fine. But yes, you have to look out for this. And Ubisoft, them getting caught for this, it allows you to also understand how the industry works. And if Ubisoft is doing it, then you know damn well a lot of other companies within the industry are doing the same thing. And you got to look at these big influencers, and you have to really analyze whether or not if this is their true opinion or not. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this whole situation with Star Wars Outlaws and Ubisoft paying influencers or encouraging influencers and swaying their opinions by sending them to Disneyland and giving them access, you know, to the game, and also paying for their flights and all their accommodations? So definitely let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe button for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord, sign off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.